Today, we're diving into the topic of inflammation, and I want to share 5 powerful foods you can start adding to your meals right away to help bring down inflammation, which is essentially an overreaction of a natural part of your immune system. All right, the very first food on my list isn't actually a single food. It's a group of 4 different foods because they all share something important. They're packed with vitamin C. So this is a whole category by itself, vitamin C rich foods. What are some examples? Oranges, strawberries, broccoli, and cherry tomatoes. A study conducted in Japan, specifically in the Mie prefecture, looked at 196 women who were living with an autoimmune disease, a serious one called lupus, which is known for being highly inflammatory, causing massive amounts of inflammation throughout the body. What the researchers wanted to figure out was how much of their food intake contained vitamin C, whether they were getting high levels or low levels, and then see the connection between dietary vitamin C and lupus flares. These flares are major inflammatory episodes, extremely uncomfortable and disruptive. And here's what they discovered. The women who consumed the highest amounts of vitamin C containing foods, again, think citrus like oranges, strawberries, broccoli, cherry tomatoes as examples, experienced a 74% reduction in lupus flares. That's a dramatic difference. Now, how much vitamin C from food was actually beneficial? The dose they calculated from this research was 154 milligrams of vitamin C per day. So what does that translate to in terms of real-world portions? I'll tell you, that's the amount of vitamin C found in just one large orange, probably about 4 slices of that orange, or 1.5 cups of sliced strawberries, or 2 cups of raw broccoli, or 8 cups of uncooked cherry tomatoes. Now, if you handed me 8 cups of cherry tomatoes in a saucepan, I'd cook them down into less than 2 cups of tomato sauce. That's not very much at all. These are easily achievable levels of food. So how does vitamin C work? It does many things, but one way vitamin C has been shown to operate in the body is by increasing a special type of immune cell called Treg cells. That's T regulator cells. T cells are part of your immune system's attack force against invaders, and Tregs actually turn down the attack cells. Think of them as the volume down switch in your immune system. Vitamin C helps activate that volume down switch, making it anti-inflammatory, and in the context of autoimmune disease, that's incredibly helpful to know. Now, the fifth food I want to tell you about is green tea. Green tea contains catechins. These are polyphenols, specifically one called EGCG, which stands for epigallocatechin 3-gallet. And guess what EGCG from green tea does? It also increases those same Treg cells, the volume control switch that turns down the volume of your inflammation, calming your immune system. That's extremely beneficial for autoimmune disease. In fact, in laboratory studies, researchers have shown that the catechin EGCG from green tea also reduces inflammatory markers in the blood. This is critical for reducing autoimmune diseases, and you can measure it by looking at those inflammatory markers. A clinical study on green tea followed 68 women who had lupus, again, that autoimmune disease loaded with inflammation. And what the study showed was that drinking the equivalent of 5 cups of green tea per day cut lupus activity by 50%. Now, you might be thinking, how can I possibly drink 5 cups of green tea a day? I can tell you it's actually quite easy. If you fill up a mug with hot water, brew some green tea in it using a tea bag or loose whole leaf green tea, and just sip on it throughout the day whenever it gets low, just refill the mug with hot water again. Over the course of a day, you'll easily refill it 5 times. People in Asia are drinking 10 cups of tea a day without even thinking about it, so this isn't too difficult to do. The other finding from this study of women with tea and lupus was that the green tea drinkers also had a 30% improvement in their quality of life, as measured in the study, better quality of life, decreased inflammation, just by sipping on 5 cups of green tea a day. That's something pretty easy to achieve. Now let me share a bit more about green tea, because green tea isn't the only tea that contains EGCG, but there's a special form of green tea called matcha. Matcha is an amazing powdered version of green tea that you can get. If you go to a sushi bar and ask for green tea, they'll often give you matcha. It's a super concentrated green tea, so dense that you can't see through it, and when you sip it, you get that nice grassy green tea flavor. Matcha isn't just steeped green tea. Matcha is the entire tea leaf ground into a fine powder. So when you drink matcha, you're getting many more polyphenols and much more EGCG. Think about it. With regular tea leaves picked from the tree, put into a sachet and steeped, you get some of the EGCG out. Of course, with whole leaf green tea, the EGCG dissolves out from the hot water into the tea you're drinking. But guess what? You're still leaving some of the polyphenols, some of the EGCG behind in the leaf. That's different with matcha. With matcha, you dry the leaf and powderize the entire thing, so you get every bit of that EGCG when you consume it. Another advantage of matcha tea is that you're also getting all the dietary fiber found in the tea leaf. When you steep a cup of tea with a tea bag or loose leaves, you're not getting the fiber from the leaf. But with matcha, you are. And dietary fiber going into your gut lowers inflammation because a well-fed gut microbiome, the good bacteria that get to enjoy the tea you're drinking, actually get stimulated. What they do is produce short-chain fatty acids, acetate, propionate, butyrate. These short-chain fatty acids are released by the bacteria into your bloodstream, and that also lowers inflammation. Now, what about beyond green tea? It turns out there are other teas that also contain EGCG. Oolong tea, which you might find in a Chinese restaurant, it's slightly fermented, slightly oxidized, also has it. Black tea like English breakfast tea or Earl Grey tea also contains EGCG. And even the super dark teas like Pure tea, which is an ultra-fermented smoky tea, also contains some of these catechins as well. So you don't have to stick only with green tea, you can enjoy all kinds of tea. Hey there, I have another resource to share with you. It's my free guide to foods for your gut-brain axis. In case you haven't heard, we now know that feeding your gut microbiome, your healthy gut bacteria, is one of the most important things you can do to lower inflammation and improve overall health in your body, including brain health. And we're just beginning to learn how taking care of your microbiome can reduce your risk of developing heart disease, dementia, cancer, and many other serious inflammatory conditions. So you don't want to miss out on my guide because I give you 5 food recommendations that you can eat right now to help optimize your microbiome and protect your gut-brain axis. Check out this resource. It's available for free right now in the caption below. Now back to the video. One pro tip about tea. You don't want to consume microplastics with your tea, okay? So make sure that when you're dunking tea bags, the bags themselves aren't made of plastic. Some of those beautiful pyramid-shaped tea bags are actually made of nylon, like pantyhose. And when you dunk that kind of bag into your cup of hot tea, the hot water actually dissolves off. Guess what? 1 billion plastic particles into your tea, and you drink them. You don't want to be doing that, all right? So loose tea leaves are much better, or paper bags for steeping are also okay, or matcha. That's just a powder itself, and that's good. Pure tea usually comes as a block you break off and put in, and that's really great too. There are also powdered teas out there. I've actually had powdered tea, which is tea that's been brewed, all the water boiled off, and they collect the powder from it. It's super easy to dissolve, a very convenient method. No tea leaves, no tea bags, and you get all the polyphenols super concentrated. I would actually suggest trying that as well. So I hope you got something out of this, and thanks for watching. Hi there, if you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out, and I'll see you there.